Hey guys, it's Rebecca. We're back. In case you haven't watched some of the other videos, my camera system's broken. I'm out here doing some video. We're trying to make the best of it. So, the past two videos I've done have been about sitting the trot and ways to make that better. And I want to talk now a little bit about sitting the walk, because I made a mention in the last video. So if you haven't watched that, watch the previous two. In this sequence, but I made a comment about your hips being able to move independently to stay with the horse's movement. And one of the best ways to learn that is actually in the walk. And your horse doesn't even have to be on the bit. You can just totally let your horse free walk around. So we're going to do that, and we're going to talk a little bit about what I'm feeling, and then I'll come back in front of the camera and sort of describe it. So one of the things, so I'm just going to let them walk around here. Hopefully you guys, you can see me and I stay in the camera, because that's the problem with my camera right now, is it's not following me. So if you can feel, you can actually look and be like left hind, right hind, left hind, right hind, left hind, right hind, left hind, right hind. And it's helpful. You could have a friend call that out to you. You could also have mirrors that you look, depending on your setup in where you ride. But it's really good to have that perception, because you're not just moving forward in space in the walk, right? You're not just following that with your hips and like walking forward, but you're also being pushed more, and your hip is slightly being pushed up by the hind leg that is actually moving up, right? They're lifting their leg up, and in essence, that pushes the hind leg and the back up and forward on that side differently as the other side sort of drops down. And you kind of get this rotation going in the rib cage of like, so the rib cage has to kind of swing out of the way for the hind leg to come forward. And so you're kind of getting this like swing also. Now, I don't want you to start swinging around in the walk. I'm not asking for all this extra movement. I'm not asking you to like scoot forward in the walk and try and make it march out. None of that. I just want you to follow it. And I want you to be able to feel it and feel like, okay, I'm moving forward, but I'm also got this like hind leg that is actually moving my pelvis slightly different. And where can I stabilize myself to be able to go with that movement better? And what part of me has to be able to swing better in order to go with that movement, so that I'm actually moving well with the movement and I'm not actually slopping around up here, okay? Because all the extraneous movement is going to hinder your walk. But if you can stay like, I'm in my core, I've got my spine aligned, I've got my legs in their position, I'm kneeling, but yet I am allowing the movement of the horse's back to come up and through my seat without hindering that movement. Right? And then I concentrate on that, and look, he goes into this like nice walk with his neck down and draped out of his body. And I haven't even done anything. I don't even have any contact on the reins. Okay. So, and I just like halt my seat and he halts, right? That's the communication that if you can build that in the subtle thing, free walk on long rein, I'm literally on the buckle. If you can get that communication with your horse, think about when you actually start to put them together, what kind of what kind of communication you can actually have when you're trying to do something with them. And those proprioception exercises, just getting on there and being like, okay, what leg is doing what? Where is it traveling in space? How much is it pushing off? Like, all those are really important for your education, but also for your ability to actually help your horse use themselves better. So you might be able to be like, oh, wow, Rebecca, I start to feel that he doesn't push off as much with the right hind, or he's actually like pushing my seat bone up more with the right hind. Or you'll feel like, well, I don't feel like when he plants the leg that he carries it as well. And if you start in the walk, then you'll get that perception to be able to then go into the trot. And then we'll talk about it in a future video about in the canter, being able to feel those hind legs and what those hind legs are doing. Because one of the important things is like we want to feel, and I've talked about this in other videos, the equal push of both hind legs. We want to be able to feel that come up into the pelvis, come up into the lower back, especially with this one, come up underneath of me, and then out into the bridle, right? And it all starts with that leg, that whatever hind leg at the moment, because they're never both pushing off at the same time, all right, in a dressage movement. That would be like crow hopping. We don't want that. Even in the pirouettes, we want da-dunt, da-dunt, right, where they're not like planting both hinds. And you want to be able to feel that push, and you want to be able to channel that push out into the bridle and through the movement and really have that throughness through the back. And the first step of that is actually some of this walk work where you're just feeling, what are the hind legs doing? Can I feel that energy come up and through my seat without it throwing me off balance and without me hindering it, right? That's the two things that like where your good position comes from. The people that have the most amazing positions are able to take what the horses are doing. They're able to stay 100% with the horse and then influence the horse for it to be better, right? That's the whole point for having good biomechanics in a good position. Okay, so I wanted to just add that because I thought that was really important to the last two videos. So thanks, guys. That was a short one. I'll see you next time.